Okay, good morning, everyone. It is March 24th. This is our usual 10 a.m. Upper State Street Regional Action Plan. It is technically our data reporting week, but we'll also be spending some time reflecting on our site visit to the Father Virgil Cordano Center last week. Several folks on this call were with us for that site visit. Just a really wonderful experience, getting to see the Father Virgil Cordano Day Center in action. Getting to talk with Father John and with Aaron, with some other folks. Councilmember Friedman was there, as well as Al and some of his CityNet team. So Al, I'll also pass it over to you in a little bit, just to share a little bit about your reflections and some of the kind of ongoing partnership between those two agencies to serve folks in our community. We'll also talk a little bit more if there's anything that you're seeing in your neighborhood, any movement that you're seeing as a result of recent encampment clearouts from Caltrans and others, any of that movement we want to know about. Please do, as always, keep using those encampment links. The one that is in the agenda is useful, as well as Chris just put it in the chat. But just to get us started, like I just said, we were able to visit the Father Virgil Cordano Day Center. So maybe Aaron or Will, if you want to talk a little bit about some of the major services that the Father Virgil Cordano Center offers to folks, and then I'll share a little bit about some of what we were able to talk about. But go ahead, Aaron, I see you're unmuted.
Thank you, Kayla. Yeah, it was great having everyone come down. And I think just the interaction with all the different agencies that came and SB Act, and it was really good and positive, I think, for everyone going forward. There was some conversations in our patio meeting that I think could lead to some really beneficial things for our community of unhoused neighbors in terms of transportation issues. But overall, for those who weren't there, the Father Virgil Cordano Day Center was established a couple years ago, just as a place where our unhoused neighbors can come and get rest from being outside, get a warm meal, do some laundry, and there are other services that are available too in terms of housing plugins, various service connections, and then also we have a job services program as well. But I think one of the things that astounded me is not the service providers who was present not being aware, but I happened to mention to the group before the meeting started that since I've been here since September, over 300 unique individuals have come through the center. And out of the 6 or 8 people gathered, I heard 4 of them say, wow. So that's, I mean, I think everyone knows kind of the scope of our population that we're trying to help out collectively. But yeah, so there's a need here, and I really see great opportunities going forward for the center to connect and collaborate with the various other agencies.
Thank you for sharing that, Aaron, and for highlighting some of those key things that you're able to provide to folks. I know that seeing all of the different computers and in this really bright, welcoming space, and meals that are offered and laundry are all things that this population needs consistent access to in a caring environment. And so just really appreciated getting to see it all. And also, I was one of those people that said, wow, because that is a lot of unique individuals served over time and people that are building those trust relationships to be able to move forward with whatever they're looking for, kind of all right there. Anything to add, Al? I know that you and Father John were talking a lot about some ways to partner for transportation, because we know lots of folks are coming from that east side area, from the rescue mission up to the Father Virgil Cordano Center, which is that's a hike to walk, and bus fares are more expensive these days. So maybe there's opportunities for transportation and connections in that way. So I'll let you jump in and share, Al.
Yeah, absolutely. It was wonderful to be able to actually go there for my first time, and just to have that experience, just to see, feel the energy, see the support that's going on there. So it's amazing to know. We did talk about being able to help out with that, especially in the mornings with transports. My lead's off this week, but beginning next week, we're going to sit down. We'll reach out to Aaron or Father John to just go ahead and connect that. Aaron also provided, let our staff know as far as our case managers, that there was a nice little spot there to be able to, to be able to have a little workstation to, help us out with, in this collaboration. So we look forward to that. And we definitely want to make that happen as far as probably right now looking towards like 1 day a week, being able to provide that type of service in order to assist over there and help people that want to just go relax, get some rest, have some food, get their clothes washed, all the services that we noticed that they provided, which is extremely helpful in our community. So we will be working on that. So we'll definitely keep you guys updated. But overall, it was a great experience, a really good conversation. And I look forward to continue that collaboration as we move forward.
Yeah, thank you, Al. And a couple things I'll highlight as well in addition to that are there's some crossover with folks that were at the Rose Garden Inn who do access services at the Father Virgil Cordano Day Center. So it's another opportunity to keep moving forward with these individuals, to keep in contact with them, to keep just them in the loop as housing opportunities are identified and selected. As well as, again, lots of crossover between that East Side population. So with the launch of our East Side Neighborhood Navigation Center next week, I think there's some really cool opportunities for partnership, that if an individual wants to go straight from that Wednesday East Side Neighborhood Navigation Center, which ends at 10 a.m. and go to the day center, that there are opportunities for transportation between those locations, just to be continuing and bridging these gaps between these different services. So again, just a really wonderful opportunity to get to see one of our partners in action. Chris Clark, I see you on the call. I know that you reported out on data a little bit earlier this month, but if there's anything that you're noticing as folks are using the encampment link, as we're seeing movement from these encampment clearouts and things like that, is there anything that you'd like to jump in and share? Anything that you're seeing? Beautiful data map, anything that you're looking at, I'll let you share.
Yeah, I can give a little bit of an update. Let me pull things up. I'll actually share my screen here in a second. In general, the Upper State Street area, we haven't been getting too many reports, and things are looking pretty good while we're out there. If anybody is seeing anything, I do encourage you to utilize the encampment link. And why don't we circle back to me in just a minute? I got to update this map, and then I'll share it to everybody in a few minutes.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Chris. I'm putting you on the spot here, so thanks for jumping right in and being willing. And I will reiterate, as we do every week, that using that encampment link and using that individuals in need reporting link is the best way to get a response, as well as keeping track of data of what you're seeing in your community, because you're the ones that are there every day, day in and day out, and see the same individuals over and over again, and are able to identify them and raise them to CityNet's kind of radar, and raise them to the city's radar, so that Al and his team and others can respond to individuals, offer them services, and begin to build all of these connection points that we talk about so often. But if there are observations, I see a lot of city folks on this call, but if there are any residents who want to share in the chat or want to unmute themselves just to share, is there any movement that you're seeing? Where are you seeing folks? If there are individuals that are in need of service, what are you seeing? Where are you seeing it? You are welcome to share, but I see Chris has started to share his map, so I'll bounce it over to Chris real quick, and then we can kind of come back to any resident observations or business owner observations.
Yeah, thanks, Kayla. So this map has our active encampment locations on it. And I'm looking up here at the Upper State Street area. We had that encampment in the 4000 block over by the Speedway. That one has been moved by Caltrans. A lot of the folks from that location ended up actually moving outside of the city limits. So once you get past the 154, you're out in the county, and several of the folks have set up at that bus stop across from the Hyatt. Others have moved further down. There's camp near Creekside. And I've been in touch with Lucille at the county about that and with Caltrans. So they're all aware of and monitoring that. Otherwise, looks like we had one individual in need report over by the Denny's recently, but otherwise it's looking pretty quiet on the map over there, which is good. Great. And again, yeah, if anybody has something that is not represented on this map, you feel free to let us know right now and we'll get it added in there.
Yeah. Thank you, Chris, for highlighting that, and also for naming that Lucille and the county and all of these folks. And there's a South County Coordinated Outreach Team meeting that happens every Tuesday that partners like CityNet and the county and Behavioral Wellness are all on. And I know that those encampments are known to that group and they are outreached to frequently, specifically the Creekside and that Speedway encampment that pop up over time. They're cleared, comes back, and there's just that consistent outreach basis to those individuals. So thank you for bringing this to our attention. Are there any questions for Chris from folks on the call or comments? Keep using those links, folks. It is helpful for being able to match folks up with the resources that they need to move forward.
I did also want to say we did just do a big cleanup. Well, it wasn't too big, but this alleyway off of Broadmoor, right there at the end, there's kind of a little enclave that seems to get a lot of materials packed up, and people probably staying there mostly at night. Doesn't seem like they're there during the day, but if anybody's in that area, please let us know if stuff comes back in there. We just cleared it all out last week. So want to try to keep that spot clean if we can. Awesome.
Thank you. Maybe we'll add that to our list of kind of key regions that we talk about each week or talk about. I know that there are other areas like Hope, Larada, Hitchcock, where we see lots of vehicles, and maybe that's an area that we keep talking about or add to the list for a future site visit, a future walkthrough, just for us to be able to know where things are and what's happening. Any further questions for Chris, comments? Want to make sure there's space for that. Awesome. Just a couple more things to share. It might be a super short meeting for us this morning. Next week is a 5th week of the month, so we will not be meeting together on the 31st. Our next meeting will be Thursday, April 7th. So you all have a week off from seeing our beautiful faces on Zoom. I know you're excited. So we are just looking forward to that week off. If there are concerns, if there are questions, if there are issues that do come up, please do use those links. Please do reach out to myself or to Barbara. You have our email addresses, or if there are specific concerns, I know that Al has made himself available, as has Chris, for anything that is arising in your neighborhood. Just because we're not together doesn't mean that we're not responding to any issues or needs that are coming up in your neighborhood. So please do use those modes of communication with us. And then one of the last things that I'll share is that we are in the process, Jeff, Barbara, and I are all kind of in the process, our team is in the process of reducing the number of regional action plan meetings that we ask everyone to attend. That for some of our service providers, they're with us too often. They don't need to see our faces as often as they see us. And so we're looking to sort of reduce some of those meetings and increase our ability to aid concerns, because we know that now we have some of these key reporting structures in place, these key response structures in place, like the encampment link, like the individuals in need link, like our homelessness response directory. And all of those have decreased some of the calls and the emails to our team and to some of these individuals. We're creating more quick responses through these other opportunities. And so we want to reduce the number of these meetings. So we are in the process. We'll be hosting a focus group in early April. And then we'll be able to come back to this group as to all of our other regional action plans with a cohesive plan for moving forward of how we want to reduce some of these meetings, but increase their effectiveness. So we will still see you, we will still meet. It probably just won't be every week. But again, just because we won't be together maybe every single week does not mean we are not accessible. And if there are issues that do arise, we are flexible to change structures again to respond to these issues and concerns, because these meetings are ultimately for you to be able to share with us and be able to network together with these partners to respond to these issues. They are meant to be helpful and not onerous, not another extra challenge for your week. And we have appreciated the level of engagement in this meeting. And we know this is our most recent addition to the Regional Action Plan meeting structure. And so this one will continue for a little while, for several more months in this format before we transition to a fewer meeting structure, as we again build in the use of these technologies, this encampment link, these structures for reporting and responding to issues. We want to make sure that you as business owners, as residents, have the tools in your toolbox to be able to respond to issues in your neighborhood and see impacts decreased across your neighborhood, as well as see individuals served. And also, yeah, thank you so much for that note in the chat, Kristen. I appreciate that. We're looking forward to, again, seeing the effectiveness of this increase, as we know the city has created some really valuable reporting structures to be able to respond to issues so that residents' time can better be maximized in fewer meetings, and maybe turning this kind of conversation into more of a different educational opportunities. We're looking to maybe create some videos on how to use these directories, on how to use these links, on how CityNet is able to respond, just to provide more information. So all in all, I think we're looking forward to consolidating a little bit, but again, we're still available to you. So we will see you not next week, but the following week, same time, same place, with new updates. That will be our first week of the month. So it is a strategic meeting as we look ahead to the next month, as we look ahead to Regional Action Plan restructure, as we look ahead to what are different areas and how can we work together over the next month to move forward on all of our strategies in conjunction with the rest of our regional action plans. As always, if there are questions, if there are comments, please do reach out to us via email. But I will let us go to enjoy the rest of our sunny Thursday. So thanks all for being here.
Thank you.